Okay. So number 1 says the length of a rectangle is 6 feet greater than the width. The perimeter is 40 feet. Find the length and the width. So we're talking about a rectangle. What do you think we should do first? Yeah, I think we should draw a rectangle. Okay. So I'm just going to draw a rectangle. So whenever I get a measurement like perimeter or area, I put those right in the middle of my like shape or whatever. It just helps me process. So I'm just going to write in the middle of my shape, P equals 40 feet. Yeah, P equals 40 feet. Okay. So let's look at what we're going to do next. So it says the length is 6 feet greater than the width. The length is 6 feet greater than the width. So what side is the width? Short side or long side? How do you guys want to label it? You want the long side to be the width? Okay. So if this side is W, how do I show that the length is 6 feet greater than W? Here, I'll put W right here. I can already tell it's going to be problematic because they're visually going to be wrong. So if this is the width, it says the length, that's this side. The long side is, this is an L standing for the length, right? L is 6 feet greater than the width. How do I show that this side right here is, that would be 6 times greater. It's not 6 times greater, 6 plus W. Okay, 6 plus W. All right. So what's something that you know about a rectangle? Yeah, opposite sides are the same. So if this side is 6 plus W, then this side is also 6 plus W. And if this side is W, then this is also W. Okay. What does perimeter mean? Yeah, add up everything on the outside. And what is the perimeter? Okay. So that's where we're going to show our work. 40, that's our perimeter. 40 is, what are we going to put there? Say it loud. Equals 6 plus W. Keep going. We're adding all the way around the outside. Everything around the outside. Go, Brian. What else? Plus W. Yeah, that's, so we've taken care of this and one more. Yeah, plus W. Another way you could have written it is you could have said 2 times 6 plus W, right? Plus 2 times W. Either way, you're going to get the same answer. So let's look at that. How many W's do I have? Ooble double. See, 1, 2, 3, 4 W, and 6 plus 6 is, okay. So that's my equation. Now what do I do? Yeah, subtract 12 from both sides. So 40 equals 4W plus 12. I'm going to subtract 12 from both sides. 40 minus 12 is 28 equals 4W. Divide both sides by 4. And I find out that W is 7. Now it's asking me to find the length and the width. I have to find the length and the width. So if W is 7, what is my length? If W is 7, what is my length? Yeah, 6 plus W. So it's going to be 6 plus 7, which is what? Yeah, so my length is 13. We're just going to keep doing problems like this. This is our practice today. Just problems like this, okay?
I'm missing.
You're missing numbers? What do you mean? Yeah, I started off class by saying, notice that I got rid of all the evens. And I did that because I don't feel like, otherwise you would have had a worksheet that had 10 problems on the front. There would have been problems here. And I don't feel like you have enough room to like show your work and draw pictures, so I just deleted them. Does that make sense? Good. Is that okay? What are you asking? What's your question, Peyton? Where the what came from? That's a 6. Those are 6s. 6 plus W, 6 plus W, 6 plus W.
I kind of wrote B.
Sorry, 6s. They are 6s. Okay. Let me see if I can flip this and maybe write a little bit neater for you guys. Can we keep going? Does everybody have that? Yes? Okay. That's not going to work. Let's try that again. Okay. So next one says the length of a rectangle is 2 yards less than 3 times the width. The perimeter is 68. Find the length and the width. So what should we start with? Say again. Yeah. Yeah, let's just draw a rectangle. I need to make that a little bit thicker, I think. Okay, so here's my rectangle. One side is going to be W, one side is going to be L. What do we know about the perimeter? What do we know about the perimeter? So P equals 68 yards. Okay. It says the length is 2 yards less than 3 times the width. 2 yards less than 3 times the width. 2 yards less than 3W minus what? Yeah. 3W minus 2. So the two variables that we're going to use, or the two expressions that we're going to use, are 3W minus 2 for the length, and we're just going to let W be the width. Okay? W is our width. So we're talking about perimeter. How did we do on the last one? What did we do to find the perimeter? We have to add up all the sides. So if this side is W, what's this side over here? W. If the top is 3W minus 2, the bottom is, yeah, because that's what makes a rectangle. So let's see. The perimeter is 68. So 68 equals, do you want to do multiplication, like where we multiply them and distribute, or just add them all up? Makes me no difference. Just multiply? Okay. So we have two sides that are 3W minus 2 plus two sides that have a measurement of W. So we're going to distribute. So 68 equals 2 times 3W is 6W. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. Plus 2 times W is 2W. All right. Can we combine like terms? Yes? What do you want to group together? So that gives me 68 equals 8W minus 4. Yep, add 4 to both sides. Plus 4, plus 4. So I'm going to move that up here because I'm running out of space. So let's see, 68 plus 4 is 72 equals 8W. Divide both sides by 8. So 9 equals W. So if W equals 9, what does our length equal?
25 yards.
Yeah, it equals 3 times 9, right? 3W minus 2. And 27 minus 2 is 25 yards. So I'm going to wait for everybody to make sure that they have that written down. So both of these are examples of perimeter with a what? What shape did we talk about? Yeah, so both of these are example of perimeter with a rectangle. So I'm going to just kind of do this, and I'm going to write over on the side perimeter rectangle. Because you might want an example that has something to do with the perimeter of a rectangle, and those are two really good examples of how to find length and width based off of a rectangle. Number 5 has nothing to do with perimeter, and it has everything to do with angle measures. Brian, I'm going to slide up just a little bit, okay? So I'm going to read number 5. It says, one angle of a triangle is twice as large as another, and the third angle contains 5 more than the larger. Find each angle. So the first thing that you need to know is if we have a triangle, I'm going to kind of draw a picture of a triangle here. What do you know about the angles inside of a triangle? Do you guys remember learning something about the sum of the interior? The sum of the interior. Say again. Nope, but you're close. One of them could be 90 degree, but what do all 3 of them have to add up to? Yeah, the angle has to equal 180. The sum of the interior angles of a triangle have to equal 180. So let's just label these. So it says one angle is twice as large as another. So let's just start with calling one of them X. We just need to start with something being X. So I'm going to call this little guy right down here X. And I'll put it on the outside too so you can see it. That angle is X. So another angle is twice as large. So how do I show something that's twice as large as X? What's twice X? 2X. Twice means times 2. So this angle right here is 2X. It says the third angle is 5 more than the larger. So which one of these is larger? So 2x, how do I show 5 more than 2x? Yeah. So this angle right here up top is going to be 2x plus 5. And I don't think I'm going to be able to fit that in there. Yeah. Okay. So what do all of the angles have to add up to? 180. So we have all of the angles. We just have to add them together and say they equal 180. So my first angle is x plus my next angle, 2x, plus my third angle, 2x plus 5 equals 180. And that is always true. Always, always, always. The sum of the interior angles of a triangle is 180. If you have a quadrilateral, a shape with 4 sides, it's 360, just like a circle. Okay. So, now what?
Add all the x's.
Add all the x's together. Combine like terms. Okay. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5x plus 5 equals 180. Subtract 5 from both sides. So 5x equals 175. Divide both sides by 5. So x is 35. X equals 35. So that means this angle right here is 35 degrees. Okay. So what about the 2x? So what is 2 times 35? So this angle down here is 70 degrees. And what about this angle up here? It would be 75 degrees. How could we check this? Yeah, add 75 and 70 and 35 and see if it equals 180. Does it? It does. Okay, it does. So I'm going to label the outside of this problem. I'm going to call this triangle sum. Triangle. Angle, that means angle. I'll write it out, I guess. Maybe I'll write it out. Triangle angle sum. Because I want you to know what that is. And this is really important. So I'm going to highlight this. The sum of the interior angles equals 180. Okay. So I'm going to leave that there for a second so you guys can make sure you have all of that. So when did you guys learn about like the angle measures of a triangle? When did you learn that here? Was that 8th grade, 7th grade? Do you remember? 7th grade? Okay. Did you guys ever learn that about triangle measures like that they all add up to 180? Yeah? What about you guys? Do you think you learned that, Madeline? No? Vanessa? No? Walter, did you ever learn that? No? Brian, you think yes? Okay. I think that honestly, like living in Bermuda and living in Spain, I think that most countries don't start geometry until high school. Like they do basic shapes and then they don't do anything about those shapes really until high school. So when it comes to like angle measures and things like that, we just don't talk about it until you guys get into high school. So it's not a surprise that you guys haven't seen that before. So I'm going to skip number 7 because it's just like numbers 1 and 3. Is that okay? We're going to skip that one. I'll fill it out later when I scan my notes, but we're not going to waste our time on that one. Number 7 is just like, I'll just write a little note here. Number 7 is just like, which 2? Yeah, this is just like number 1 and 3. So you can skip that one. This one is number 9 is the type of questions that are like, can't draw a picture, with it. You can't do anything except, you have 5 minutes, okay? 5:11. You just have to kind of read through it. So we're talking about two numbers, okay? So it says the larger of two numbers is 1 less than 3 times the smaller. Their sum is 63. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to underline the word sum. So I'm going to add these two numbers together. So I'm going to take the first number and I have to add it to the second number because that's what sum means. And they're going to equal 63. That's what this is saying. I just need to figure out what expression to write. So it starts off talking about the larger of the two numbers. So let's just call one number small. We're going to have a small number. Dang it. And we're going to have one number that's larger. So what do you want to call the small number? Not S, because S's look like 5s. X. Okay. So the small number is going to be X. So the larger number is 1 less than 3 times the smaller. 1 less than 3 times the small. 1 less than 3 times the small. How do I show that? How do I show 3 times the small number? 3 times the small number. 3 times the small number. 3 times the small. 3x. And if it's 1 less than that, I do what? -1. Yep. So we said we're going to add those two numbers, right? So we're going to take the first number, x, and we're going to add it to the second number, 3x minus 1, and together they are going to equal 63. Together they are going to equal 63. So x plus 3x is 4x. So 4x minus 1 is 63. I'm going to add 1 to both sides. I'm going to move that up here because I'm running out of space. So when I add 1 to both sides, what do I have? I have 4x equals 64. Divide both sides by 4. X equals 16. So that means that my small number is 16. My large number is 3 times 16 minus 1, which is what? Yeah, it's 47. How can I check this? Yeah, take 16 and add it to 47. It better equal 63. Does that make sense? Okay. Let me look at the questions on the back really fast. I want to do consecutive odd integers. And that's it. So let's go to number 11. Let's do number 11 and then we'll be done. Number 11. Do you guys remember doing consecutive integers last year or last semester? Yeah, I know if you had me, we did like those so much that you were probably getting tired of the word consecutive. Okay, so let's talk about what does it mean to be consecutive? Consecutive means that one follows the next, right? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But if we talk about consecutive odd numbers, we're talking about odd numbers like 1. What's the next odd number? Okay, so 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and I'm going to go dot, dot, dot. Okay, we don't know what these numbers are. We don't know what they are. We just know that we have 4 odd integers in a row. So if we don't know what they are, and I want to call the first number x, what did I do to this to get the next odd number? So the next number is going to have to be x plus 2. And what did I do to this to make 1 plus what is 5? 1 plus what is 5? So the next number is going to be x plus 4. And then what did I do to the 7? Well, 1 plus what is 7? So those are my numbers. This is my first. This is my second number. This is my third number. And this is my fourth. And that's what it wants. 4 odd integers. Sum means I'm going to add them together is 56. So what am I going to do with all of these? I'm going to add them together. So x, that's my first integer, plus x plus 2, that's my next integer, plus x plus 4, plus x plus 6, and that all equals 56. So how many x's do I have? So 4x and 2 plus 4 plus 6 is 12 equals 56. What are we going to do? Subtract 12, yeah. So when I subtract 12 from both sides, 4x equals, let's see, 6 minus 2 is 4, 5 minus 1 is 4. So 4x equals 44. And x equals, x equals 11. So that means that my first number, x, is 11. My next number, x plus 2, is 11 plus 2 is 13. And my next number, 11 plus 4 is 15. And my last number, 11 plus 6 is, how could I check them? Add them all together. 10, 20, 30, 40, 52, 55, 56. There we go. So this is consecutive odd integers. I'm going to label that. Give me 1 second, sweetie. Consecutive odd. You know that you do consecutive odd and consecutive even the exact same way. You define your variables the same way because the difference between 2 and 4 is 2. 2 to 6 is 4. So you're going to define them the same way. You're going to add 2 each time. Okay. So we'll do tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll finish up our notes. And I know a couple of you guys have your hands up. So I'm going to give you your worksheet for today and tell you what problems you're doing. Okay. I'm gonna give you your worksheet for today and tell you what problems you're gonna do. We're not gonna do all of them. We're gonna just do some of them. So this is the even of the cut apart of the worksheet, the opposite side. Okay. So number 2. Let's do number 2, 4, and number 6. 2, 4, 6. I think that we can do 8. Yes. Do you guys feel like you can do number 8? It's another. Let me pull this up so I can see them. So number 2 is perimeter of a rectangle. You can do that one. Number 4 is like our warm up. Number 4 is exactly like our warm up. Number 6 is the sum of the angles of a triangle. And number 8 is 2 numbers. One's larger, one's smaller. Okay. Number 10, don't do, because we haven't done just regular consecutives. And don't do number 12. But you can do number 14 and 16 and 18. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's 7 problems. And you also have a Delta math, which is not due till Monday. But if you get done with your 7 problems, you can turn them into me. It's no, it's new. It's new. I just opened it up today. I mean, I created it a week ago, but I just opened it today. So I'm going to write down the problems that we have in our